I think I'm gonna make it a thing where I'm just not presentable in any of my videos. It'd be natural. All right, guys, I wanted to make a video on my journals because I feel like I haven't really been getting the most ideas coming to me to make videos, and I wanna honestly make more videos, more idea-based videos, but I haven't really had the inspiration, or nothing has really sparked in me to make videos. So I think these will help. And I want to go through these because I was going through one of them this morning, talking to Daniel on FaceTime, and I don't know, when I say it out loud, it really helps me. Yeah. So I have 5 of my journals here. I think I have a couple other ones, but they're honestly like there's different things in them that I don't really want to express here on the channel. Let's go through my first one. This is a Moleskine, just like pocket leather handbook, and yeah, it has this was my first kind of pocket. It's like my first pocket notebook that I ever got, pocket journal, and it just has like a bunch of random things in it. This was a time when I read the book How to Think Like a Roman Emperor, and that book really opened my eyes to Stoicism. This is like my Stoic background right here. This is where like everything came from. I jotted down ideas of that book and quotes as if it was a textbook, because I was trying to like get my life together. I was really trying to get more in tune with my thoughts, my emotions, and really learn how to just become a better person. And I think this really helped, and along with that book. But let's just read some of the things in here that I wrote to myself. He reminds himself to view the storm with stoic indifference and to respond with wisdom and courage while accepting his initial reaction as harmless and inevitable. And going back into these, I actually remember this a lot. I haven't honestly read this in around 2 years, which is kind of awesome to look back on and just really be like, oh, like I actually wrote these things down, and like, oh, I remember that, and I should really implement that back into my life. This was like my Stoic journal, basically. So that's that. The second notebook I want to talk about is this, field notes notebook. It's a 72-page signature sketchbook. This was the notebook that I used in philosophy and I think in 11th grade, high school, to respond to a book called Siddhartha. We needed to write a couple of sentences or like a paragraph each chapter, right? And I think my teacher was just like, look, I don't care what you guys write, just write me something about the chapter. And so going page through page, it's just basically the chapters and what I thought about it. So like the first one's like the Brahmin son, the second one is with the Samanas, Gautama, Kamala, amongst the people, and so on. And I just wrote like a little bit in each like page. But it was really cool because I loved Siddhartha. I love it. I reread it actually this year again, going to Mexico, and everything just came back. All the emotions came back to me, and it was such a serene moment to read and like finish it and like actually like take all the information again. It was I loved it. Like the Brahmin son, I literally just put I am ready. Like it was such a I knew it was a book about the Buddha, and I was just like, I was really always intrigued in Buddhism. And how they deal with their emotions and how they just become good, like great people, and so I was just like, I'm ready to learn. This was a time my philosophy class really opened up my mind to a lot of things, and it actually is what kind of I've never really journaled before philosophy, but he made us journal every day, and I'll get to my next journal, which is really like actually the starting point of my journaling journey. That was just a pretty cool experience, having to write a journal about a book. I loved it. Before I get to this next journal, I want to point out a quote that I heard from a recent film that I saw called Stutz. I'm not sure if you guys have seen it. If you haven't, go watch it. It's a movie about Jonah Hill's therapist, right? And he wants to mention tools that he uses to help people get over their depression and anxiety and stuff like what a therapist does. The quote goes like this, and I'm paraphrasing. He says, journaling is a way to unlock your unconscious. It's a way to like bring whatever you can't feel or see out into the world. And it's like a mirror. It's a reflection of your unconscious. And that shit was just like, very powerful, and I'm gonna start journaling again because of that, because I haven't journaled in a while. But this next journal, this is my this is like my first journal ever. It's this really nice like leather notebook from Target. It's just like a blue notebook, and I love the spiral of it because I could write on both sides without really having any issues. But this was my philosophy journal. So in philosophy, the beginning of the year, the teacher said, hey, you guys need a journal because we're gonna write every single day in this class. And I was like, fuck, okay, fine. But he made us write every single day, I think every day, he put up a prompt on the whiteboard or on the projector, and we had to write a minimum of like 100 words about it. And the first one was just like, I wonder. It just said like, I wonder, like, what do you guys wonder? And I had such a superficial answer, to be honest. It was like, I wonder how people have the ability to think about inventing new things. Like, what? Like, if I could go back now, I mean, I guess that was my wonder at the point, but I would probably go a little deeper. This journal symbolizes the beginning of like my awakening almost. You know, it was a very powerful journal and a very powerful habit that I honestly give a lot of thanks to, what's his name? That I give a lot of thanks to my teacher for helping me establish, right? I think there are a lot of entries in here, and it just is just awesome. I actually continued using this after, so 11th grade, I think, it might have been even 12th grade. And I still continue to write in this journal even after like he wasn't giving prompts or anything. But anyways, this is my most cherished notebook because it started everything. The one I got after that, I think the one I got after that is this one called the Daily Stoic Journal. This is by Ryan Holiday and Stefan Hanselman. But this is a journal with a prompt every single day of the year. So it has 366 days of writing and reflection on the art of living. And I got this journal because I think this was a point where I was just kind of like, man, I don't know what to write about. I wake up and I don't know what to write about. Like I had kind of a blank mind, but this really challenges you to look at these prompts and just write something about it. And it has a morning reflection and an evening reflection, and it gives you a couple of lines in each one. And this one was just amazing too. I loved this journal. It takes you week by week, and it gives you like a little kind of prompt or like a little like backstory for each week of like what we're gonna talk about and what the prompts are gonna look like. Like this one's great. This one says, what am I addicted to? January 8th, what am I addicted to? And I think I wrote, I'm addicted to my phone, to Warzone, to being lazy. I'm addicted to spending money on things which I do not need. I am an unnecessary spender. I don't like these habits and desires, and I want to start using the book, How to Think Like a Roman Emperor, in order to help me. I will start to think of my consequences and catch my addictive habits early on. I will change. And after... This is funny, after every entry I used to write love Richie, just because a little reminder like, yo, love yourself. You know, you got this shit. Don't even worry about it. If nobody tells you today that they love you, you love yourself, right? I told you, I told me. I suggest everybody to if you don't know how to journal, if you don't know where to start, I think start with a journal like this where it gives you prompts, because I don't know, this was just great. But as you can see, I didn't really fill everything in. I think next year I'll buy this again and I'll actually try to do it every day. Obviously, almost like the first half of this was like every day, like I wrote morning and evening, but a lot of them are blank. Like I really just kind of picked and chose like what, like, I think it was early this year, I went back to this notebook, because I think I got this in 2020. The beginning of 2021. But I went back to this, and some days I would just go like this. I would just open it, scroll through, and like find a random thing to do, and I would just write on it instead of going day by day, because I really forgot to write a lot of days. This is my most recent journal. This is my most recent journal. This is the big boy. This is the one where like the deep thoughts go into, where I'm trying to write a bunch of different things in it, from regular journaling to like video ideas to like, I even have some notes in here for school, but I'm gonna try to take this everywhere. But I do cherish it a lot. It's very, very beautiful. It's from, I'm gonna be honest, it's from Barnes & Noble. It's not that special, but I love it. It has the best pages. It looks and feels amazing. And yeah, so in this notebook, I have the most amount of writing, I think, because I really kind of like thought of it as like a very proper journal, just by the way it looks. So it kind of tricked my mind. Yeah, like I would name most of my entries, right? Like in other people. Oh, I love this one because I remember a quote, not a quote, but the beginning of Marcus Aurelius's meditations from his book. He writes all the virtues and like the great things that he's learned from other people, which is kind of great. And it's called like I forgot what it's called, but it's like, from my father, I learned that, blah, blah, right? And I even said here, I said, from my father, to work hard and vigorously for your passion, to not stop until you get there, and you will get there eventually. From my grandma, open your mind, support your loved ones no matter what, to be patient, healthy, and caring. From my grandfather, shit ain't always so bad, I will never experience his past, nor will I ever have it as harsh as him, to be grateful for what I have and am able to attain now. From my mom, don't be shy, be yourself, dance your ass off and have fun, because that's what life is about. From Ryan Holiday, my introduction to Stoicism, the easy, digestible videos and books who set me on the right path. From Marcus Aurelius, the inner citadel, find peace within yourself in the midst of a battlefield, because the inner peace comes from the nature of our thoughts. From Epictetus, it's not what happens that bothers you, it's your judgment about it. Also, it's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. To be and have self-discipline, to know your worth, don't get angry at the world as if the universe would notice. Just be. That's a great entry that I did one day, and it's just like, I have a lot of entries where I remember I used to kind of veer off course, right? I would have these habits where I'm not myself, right? Where I would just be on my phone all day and just and I would feel terrible and almost depressed. And I would just be like, fuck, let me write this down. Let me write everything down. Let me get back on course, because writing shit down, I live kind of like an organized life in my brain. My brain's very organized, and so I like to organize my thoughts in the same way that somebody would organize, an event. And I said steering off course. Hey man, I think she's right. You need to get back on course with your goals. Focus on stoicism, learn it, live it, love it. Practice on being alone, be capable of becoming independent and feeling gratitude and stuff like that, right? There's one that says, how are you, Richie? This was 2020, this is March 2021. So it's like, this is dope. This is dope. I suggest everyone to get a journal and just, like, look, this one's called We're All Lost. This one's great. Trust me, if you ask any of my friends what they want to do with their lives, you will get a big fat, I don't know. See, this is normal. Not knowing what we want to do or be in life. Everyone goes through it, and everyone has felt that feeling. Although it makes me feel a little bit better, it's not entirely progressive. How do we figure out, it's like, I don't know where I'm going with this video anymore. I'm not even sure if I'm going to post it, but